Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Just going to go through crop conditions and the weather, and yeah, just have a quick look. There's always news about Trump and tariffs and whatever, but we'll just maybe get into it. Here's the crop conditions, and basically corn actually stayed improved just by a percentage point, and this is a visual thing. So if you're going to say that this is very substantive, but the market and trade actually looks at these things and understand as a crop matures, crop ratings usually go down because it doesn't look as lush and green from that 60-mile-an-hour drive-by, or however they're using measurements to be able to do these things. So soybeans stayed the same. Spring wheat, actually, this is the second week in a row, I think, that conditions have been decreasing. So now rains, that's maybe happened in the last couple of days. There's more rains that I ran into on my trip to and from Portage to Winnipeg. They've got a pretty good shot of rain over there. And winter wheat really doesn't matter now that you got 53% of the harvest done. So it's not becoming as important. New trade war deadline prolongs instability. So this trade and trade war, Trump induced one, is definitely just keeping everybody on their toes. No country can actually fall asleep with him at the wheel in the U.S., that's for sure. Japan it is on the docket and got a letter along with other countries there as well. And Japan was a little bit insulted by having gotten a letter and basically saying all the talks that they had were kind of null and void. So they're a little bit put off by that. So just a quick look at the weather. So here we are, just the last 7 days. You can see there's been some accumulation in the area. So it's been pretty good, but you can see that there is a little bit of heat that's going to get built into here in the next few days here. Now, anything over 30 degrees, which is 90 degrees about, starts to make things go a little bit backwards. But if there's moisture, you can actually hold on to those plants and do okay. But you look at 113 degrees, 117 degrees down there, very, very, very hot. Here's your active weather radar going across. It's getting across the Great Lakes, that area over there. This is just the accumulated rainfall as well, and you can see, Tuesday, Sunday. So then you start getting into the 10-day and the 14-day, and you can see the 14-day. There is moisture in a lot of the major grain growing areas, and I think that's what the market is starting to price in. I don't know the exact number for corn and soybeans, but rain makes grain, and we are in a deficit for sure in the prairies. There's holes in those active rainfalls. We even have a client with I think it's close to 50% of their crop got wiped out with 100% hail. It looks pretty devastating. I haven't been down there to evaluate, but it looks pretty bad. Just your active weather simulated for this upcoming couple of days here. Here's your artificial intelligence, total precipitation expected, and there's still some holes as it gets built in timeline here. It still looks like you've got a hole where there's no rainfall in there. And as you keep building, it still doesn't have enough rainfall, so you've got this, your ag in motion is up in this area as well, and it doesn't look like it's going to get rained out, but those scattered thunder showers and just unpredictability of forecasts going that far ahead, it's not likely. So here's your GFS and just how it actually rolls across. So you can't really tell whether you're going to get hit or not with that timeline. And then you add the accumulated in here, so you get through the weekend and into next week, and here you are, still got some holes in the forecasts with substantial rain in some areas as well. Here's the accumulated precipitation up until yesterday for the last 14 days, and there's still some rain that went across here just yesterday and the day before that might not be counted in this. Here's your drought monitor, and here's the great big fault in the drought monitor. It's always a week delayed, so I try to catch it as early as possible. But I'll maybe try to pull this one and see if there's any changes from this week to the last week, kind of thing. Canola seed exports. These are just the majors, and you can see that China is leading for sure. I think they're at 4.4 million metric tons of the 8.08 million exported, which is over half. And they're still continuing the pace, even though it looks like it's not that much in May, but it's still continued pace. Here's your oil. China is leading there as well. And here's your meal, and it continues still to buy, even though it's minor amounts, but they become a bigger player in meal purchases than in years past, for sure. So they're making up 30% or 32%. Canola is up, rapeseed is up, soybean oil is up, and wheats are down. So you can see here canola is up from its pullback that we had yesterday, still trading in this range that we talked about yesterday. And if we look at European rapeseed, towards the bottom end of this range. Soybean oil, looks like we're trading towards the top end of this range, trading above the short-term moving averages, still supported in that way. And yet, when you look at the soybean seed futures, it looks like we're going to be trading at this line and maybe break through here. Some analysts are saying that we can get back to those lows. Here's your meal, and it's the same kind of thing. It looks like the oil and meal are trading similar charts, and the soybean oil is actually going off on its own. Your crude oil futures, your long-term moving averages seem to be putting a lid on it wanting to go up anymore, which would be a good thing, especially for the world economy. OPEC, as I had mentioned yesterday, we're talking about releasing more crude oil on the market this coming month. Canadian dollar still remains to be strong in this upward channel, and I just trying to show the timeline when we were back there in September in that higher range, and looks like we're trying to approach that. U.S. dollar index, everybody's talking about it, how weak the U.S. dollar is. It's been trading up a little bit for the last couple of days, but that trend is definitely down, and it went past those values quite some time ago. But something to look forward to is maybe these lower values that are way over here. Wheat still looks like there's some support here, but not absolutely loving this market right now. Looks like the market is pricing in a decent sized crop in the world here. Your Kansas wheat under pressure because it's 50-some% harvested, so don't expect the market to recover until post-harvest. And same thing with Chicago. Here's your corn futures, and we're trying to make new lows, but the analysts are talking about some $4 corn. That's all I have for you today.